All right, hello, good morning. What's up, everybody? If you're new here, welcome. My name is Justin, GDT, whatever you want to call me. It's up to you. But unfortunately, today is going to be my only trading day this week here on Monday. So, pretty bummed about that. Unfortunately, got to go to the day job for the rest of the week. But had a pretty decent day today. Only 2 trades, but hitting a nice one in Tesla and then another little one in ACET. So, we're going to get into it. We're going to see the trades live here this morning. Let's trade. All right, so the first trade of this morning was on Tesla. You can see the negative I3 scanner just lighting up this morning, everything falling off like crazy. Tesla's fallen off like crazy from over 1,000 all the way down into the 960s here. So I go ahead and start a real small initial size position here with only 10 shares long at 967.32 here on Tesla. So I'm like, this thing could certainly do a big bounce here, and I go ahead and I just put the 10 out there at 974. So I'm willing to take that quick 70 on just 10 shares there if it makes that bounce immediately up to 974. But I was looking at the daily chart, a few other things, and this thing certainly had room down into 950 before there was anything really left on the daily chart. So it almost got up there. It got within about 2 points or so there on the initial try, and then it starts falling off again. So I'm only in 10 shares. I'm feeling good about it and definitely willing to add more into this one if it wants to fall a bit further. And that's what it starts doing here. It breaks down to a new low under 965, getting down towards 960. So looking for an add here somewhere just over 960 in case it wants to bounce off of that 960 level. So go ahead and get an add there of 10 more shares. I got that, where did I get that? Just around 962, I think 962 exactly. So now I'm in 20 shares at an average of 964.66, and I'm feeling pretty good about that average. If we get back up into the 970s, we're looking good with just 20 shares to make a little bit of profit here on Tesla. So it kind of starts going sideways here a bit for a while, and I believe I put an order out at like 972, 974, something like that, to try and cover those 20 shares if it did want to make that move back up. But you can see it just kind of starts going sideways here for a little bit before it finally makes a decision here on Tesla. So yeah, there you can see my order up at 970. I think it just at 970 I eventually put it out, but now it starts making the move down towards 950. I go ahead and add in there, this time 20 shares under 955. So I'm actually willing to go again here if it breaks 950. I was willing to add in another 20, which is a little bit different than my normal 112, but because of the levels on this one and the share size I was in, I was certainly willing to go again there. So average is at just under 960 with 40 shares, and I go ahead and put it all out at 964.50, which again isn't the right thing to do. I should be putting just a partial out there and trying to let the rest run, but I'm horrible at longs. It's not bouncing kind of as quickly or as big as I thought it would initially, so I go ahead and put the whole thing out there at 964.50, and I'm like, you know what, if it wants to give me that fill, I'll take it here and I'll get the week started green. It's kind of going back and forth, bouncing off of 955 a little bit there. So I'm just willing to take it if it makes that move. And it's pushing up, pushing up, pushing down on Tesla here, and then it starts getting closer. The spread's about 2 points or so at times, and we do eventually get the fill there for all 40 at 964.50 for a profit of 197 on the 40 shares. Now, it does end up rebounding here on this pullback up to 990, so certainly wish I would have been able to take the partial here on Tesla and let the rest run a bit, but still just horrible at longs. And, you know, I can't complain taking $200 out of a Tesla long early on a Monday morning. So Second trade of the day today was on ACET. You can see it right here below me starting to hit on the positive I3 intensity scanner. And I'm looking at the chart levels. You can see me scroll back and look there. And I'm like, okay, I'll start this thing if it wants to push 14 here. It looks like 14 could certainly be a line in the sand where it could go up and hit 14 and then immediately just shoot right back down. So I'm watching it here. It gets up into the 1390s. I go ahead and get short there at 1395 on that initial 14 push. So now I'm just looking at what would be easily obtainable decent pullback here, just looking for a small win. 1360 looks to be that mark, so I go ahead and put an order out there to cover at 1360 on the initial 100 share short here if it wants to come down and hit that level, but pretty quickly it shoots right back up into the 1440s. I missed the fill initially. It was too fast for me to get my order ready, but then it does hit me there at 1440. So I now have 200 shares short here on ACET. I might have said S a few times already. I don't know why, but at an average of 1418, and I'm okay with it. I'm not in love with it. It's kind of popping off of the bottom here a bit, and it feels like one that it could get up and run a bit stronger. So as it comes down, I'm like, if it gets down into the 14, breaks 14, I'll probably just take my partial out there, even though that's not really below my first entry there at 1395, which is obviously always the goal. But it's kind of bouncing back and forth. So I'll be willing to take that 75% partial. See, taking partials was what I should be doing here, especially when I'm in a nice position there on Tesla earlier. But here's the move down, so I get the partial there. I get it off at like 1404. It's a bit spready, so didn't get it below 14, which was the goal, so left a little bit of money on the table there, unfortunately, on ACET on that partial. But I left 50 shares in case I wanted to make another big flush down quickly into the 1360s, but it kind of ends up hanging here. So now I'm just watching it. I'm like, all right, if we get down below the 1390s, I'll probably just take this thing off it. It's not, I'm not loving it for whatever reason at this time of the day. It's been an hour since the last trade, so watching it here, watching to see if it can get under 1390, and we're going to see the level 2 start to come down nicely here, down into the 1390s and under. So once we get under there, I go ahead and just click the cover all button, and we're going to take the whole thing off there for plus 31. So nothing big there, but you know, added a little bit of money to the day, so I'll take it and move on. So that's gonna do it. A little under 230 on the total for the win today, and unfortunately, like I said, it's my only trading day today, but happy that it was a decent one today. So if you guys enjoyed the video, make sure you hit like and subscribe. If you want to find and use the scanners that I use every day to find all of these trades, check the link in the description below. Use the link, use code GDTISW for 20 to 30% off every single month, depending on what package you get, and I will see you guys next week.